So this is the story in photographs and a little bit of a video in the middle of my progress of Meat and Potatoes Man, a watercolor 22 by 30. I started with a really detailed drawing, and then I always go in with my washes of yellow, my washes of pink, and I start to establish my value pattern right off the bat. Then I started the detail of his face, and I just work in layers in different sized washes, what I can handle with keeping the paper damp. It always looks so dark when the rest of the paper is light, but the value was pretty good. I put that dark on his neck so I have something to compare my midtones to. Here I'm wetting the background and putting in a little color, and it wasn't dark enough or smooth enough, but I'm going to deal with that later. So I jump around working on different parts of it. Here I had worked on his hand and arm and the hamburger bun. His shirt, I'm working on a shirt. His shirt was very complicated with all those stripes, and there was a time in the middle there when I thought I wasn't going to be able to pull it off, but it worked out. When you put all those washes on like that, you lose all your pencil marks. So it was a slow process. Here I'm starting to work on the ketchup bottle, and I've got the hamburger in. The ketchup puddle was too big because I had asked him to just hold the bottle there while I took pictures. So somewhere along here I make the ketchup puddle a little smaller on the hamburger. I thought it looked false. So I wish I'd have used a different color. I wish I'd have used the vermilion hue, and I didn't. So I've got this totally dry, so I'm going to spray it. I usually use something, put something over it to protect it from the overspray. So I really don't think I can brush this at this point. Sometimes I lay saran wrap on here. I just don't want the color to jump over onto my shirt. I'm going to use a piece of foam core. So my plan is put down some vermilion and then drop a gray mixture that I made in, and use my spray bottle, try and get it to move. This side is smoother than the other side. That's something else I'm going to have to deal with. I don't know, I might have to use a little bit of a brush. I don't want to. Alright, we'll see how this goes. It's not wet exactly up to the edges, and like I say, I don't want it to jump. I've had that happen before. Some people use that stuff that sticks on there. It's like saran wrap and it sticks on, but I've had the color go underneath it, so I don't trust it. I'd rather be able to see what's going on. Got a little bit of a puddle right there. That's actually where I want to put my vermilion, I think. I want to turn this a little more orange. So let's see if I can just pour that on gently. I I did an experiment. I painted something this color. I know this is out of focus, but that's the way it goes. So I just want to let this move around here a little bit and snug in around my ketchup bottle where I want it. So then I want to put some gray on and let it interact with this. Up here. Get this wet right here. You know, it takes a lot of courage or something to do these things, you know, when you've spent so much time on a painting already. But like I tell people, you gotta have the courage to finish your own painting. And I wasn't happy with it. Alright, so now I'm gonna use my fine mist sprayer, encourage that to move, and then I'm gonna get some gray on here and see how nicely they'll play together. I think the vermilion is going to work really well on top of the color I already made. So I've mixed up 2 little cups of gray, and I'm just going to see what happens. It's a blue really, but it looked gray. I'm a control freak and I don't have as much control with this as I'm used to. And I have to be careful because I'm getting it on my hands and it's so saturated. Up there for me, just wait a minute. Well, let's see, I want to get some up here. Kind of losing my vermilion, aren't I? Gosh. I gotta watch this finger. I don't want it to come over there. Let's get it up this way. I know you can't see this, but I can. Alright. Man, have I got a lot of paint on here. Alright. I don't know that I would want those little red things up there. So let's try spraying it, see if we can get it to move in there a little bit. Down here, we're pretty good. Careful of my hands. Like I say, I've got it on my hands now. I really don't want to find a big dark thumbprint somewhere that I didn't want. Let's see if I can just move that with my finger. Yep, see, I'm getting it all over right there. I got some. It's very staining. Little puddle going right up the side there by his head. So far, so good. All right, I still have a little bit of color movement underneath. I can see some really nice little reds right there. I'm spraying this crimson puddle and seeing if I can just encourage the blue to come over and mix a little bit more. I want to get it down on my ketchup bottle. So I'm just doing a little back and forth and getting them. There we go. I'm going to spray it a little bit, get some of this thickness off of here. Yeah, I'm making little spots all over the place. I'll have to clean that up later. Just want to get a little, I don't want this to look like wall paint. So I didn't mention that I was using P.H. Martin's, the liquid transparent watercolor. That's what made those dark, the vermilion and the dark background colors that I was pouring on with cups. I love how saturated the colors were, and then here I am just doing it on the other side, same process. The background was so smooth and dark that it would mar easily if you touched it, so I had to cover it with saran wrap while I finished the painting. And now I'm finishing his forehead. I scrubbed his hair back out, I didn't like it, and went in again and got that right. So here it is getting finished up, the bottom of the painting and the top, and this was accepted into the American Watercolor Society this year, so I'm thrilled. Thanks for watching.